Hello, my name is Kai, and I am a bit of a rambler. I like to travel, learn, and tell stories. And today, I'm gonna ramble on about this week. What do I gotta talk about? Oh, the Gambira Loca Zoo. I'm gonna turn that into a full episode because there's so much to talk about, and I had a really fun time. But basically, huge thumbs up. I advise anyone who happens to be in Yogyakarta to stop by this zoo. I'd be curious if all Indonesian zoos are this nice. Gambira Loca Zoo is the nicest zoo I've ever been to. The animals were super active, they looked clean, they looked healthy. The people looked like they were taking really good care of everything. And they had a bunch of cool animals. They didn't have a Komodo dragon, so you have to go to BKS in Surakarta for that, or like another city, which is crazy. That seems crazy to me. But it was still a really fun time, and there was a bunch of kids, and I got to say hello to the kids, and they spoke really good English, and it was very impressive. It was a fun trip. Oh, and I exercised too. I walked all the way down to Gambira Loca. It was like 16 kilometers total, 10 miles. And a great time. It was just good exercise, so I've been jogging since then. Been doing barefoot running since I talked to some people over in the Running Lemmy community about barefoot running, and I was giving all of this advice. And then I was like, wait a minute, how long has it been since I've been running, let alone barefoot running? And it has been months. And so there's a great track. Like on that same day, I was walking around my neighborhood and found a great running track specifically for barefoot running. I mean, it's not for that, but there's small paved flat stones that make up the running track. And so I've been barefoot running since the second week here because it's mucho el confortable, as they say in Indonesia. Just kidding. And man, the running track, like it's a really nice running track. It's fairly empty unless they're having a soccer game, which happened once. But that ends at sunset, and I usually start running around sunset. But what else was really cool was they have exercise equipment there, but the sky is like insane looking. Like it looks really nice from my house here, but from that track field, it is bright orange, like sky fire orange, and brilliant fluorescent pink in the other direction. Like the whole sky is different orange and pink and yellow colors at sunset. I was amazed. I was amazed at what it looked like. So it's a great place to run. I get to do barefoot. It's very comfortable and modern, and it's surrounded by a bunch of trees. One side has all these snacks if you want to get some food, and then the sky looks amazing every single time I run there. I also got to run in the rain there. There's a huge rainstorm going on, and I just got to jog through the rainstorm, and that was really fun. And I'm pretty sure everyone looked at me like I was an insane person, but it was super fun, so that's okay. There was definitely a guy who came out of his house to look at me, and he was just like staring like, does that guy know it's raining and he's running in basically a rainstorm? Because there was thunder. There was lightning and thunder and nonstop rain for hours. But I was so into the barefoot running of it all and how comfortable it felt, and it had been so long that I just kept going around the track for, I think it was a couple hours. And after the first one, this guy just came out and like looked at me from his driveway. And he was like, okay. And he went back in after a while. It's a big track. I mean, I don't know if he was there the whole time, but he was there a couple of the times I went around. And I got a running partner here. That was fun. She was embarrassed because, this is a very conservative country. But we went running together too, and we talked, and I got to share my running. I got to brag about doing marathons and stuff, but she's done marathons also. So it was cool with another runner. She was a pretty good runner, but she only ran for 30 minutes. So we were meeting there, and I was going to go out early to run before her. But instead, I ended up only running 30 minutes, and then we went and got tahu cabe garam and other good food from that delicious restaurant down the street from me. She let me drive her motor scooter. I didn't even ask to drive it. When we left the running track, she just asked if I wanted to drive the motor scooter over there. And I was like, yeah, sure. I've owned motorcycles, so this is fine. And then I went out toward the main road and I was like, ooh, left side of the road. You got to drive on the left side. And then I was like, you know what? We'll just go the back streets because I don't want to even risk a left side of the road driving incident. And it's a like busy enough road before sunset. So turned around, went the back streets, and it was a lot of fun. The monsoons has kind of chilled out this month. After that big one that I ran in for a few hours, the skies were like, all right, I guess he really likes these because he's running in them. Let's pull them back, folks. So there haven't been as many giant rainstorms. Rain still comes down, but it's quite brief, even if it is heavy. But who am I to complain? I'm going pretty crazy over coconut water here. The coconut water is delicious here, and so I've been drinking a lot of it. That's the whole story. But, I mean, Thailand has great coconut water. I don't know if this brand is... You know what? I gotta check that, if Hydro Cocoa is Indonesian. But it tastes really fresh. And so I got a whole bunch of it. But then there's this cranberry juice that's just fruit juice with no added sugar. And it's also so good. So I've been having... this is my healthy month for sure. Next week, I gotta go to the Philippines. I'm gonna be with my Chinese friend who likes to drink with me. So things are probably gonna get off the rails pretty soon. But then after that, I'm gonna be in Japan by myself in a house. Well, I shouldn't say that, jinx myself. Knock on wood. If I get this house, I have to deal stupid. There's a credit card. US banks are really slow, but I want to use this credit card for the Airbnb rewards. So the guy is holding it for me, the Airbnb host, until I can get it, but I feel bad because I've never had in all the time. It's only since I've got this credit card with its absurdly low credit limit. As soon as I book this house in Japan, I'm going to call up the bank and ask them to raise the credit limit. I just don't want to do anything out of the ordinary until I book the place first. But right now, I'm like, how? It's because I went to Hawaii and then I flew to Indonesia. So I flew across the Pacific, twice. And then I had to book housing in both places. And now I'm flying not a very far flight, but pretty not short flight. It's like 17-hour flight to Japan. And then I'm booking another house, and Japan's a very expensive country. So it's like $10 outside of the credit limit, and US banks take so long to complete a payment to a credit card. Like 72 hours. I've had it longer, but generally 72 hours, which is a very long time for me, having been in, living in most of the rest of the world where all payments are instant. So dealing with this credit card, US credit card infrastructure is a little goofy. But this guy, the host, is being really cool, and hopefully I'm going to get this house because it's in the tiniest town. There's like literally 7,000 people in this town. So it is a town. And there's not even a public bath in this town, which was difficult to swallow. I almost didn't even get this place because there was no public bath. But there's a train that goes straight down into Matsuyama City, and I know there will be public baths there. There might even be one in the town close by, and I have, all the time in the world. So if I really want a public bath, which I will, I'll just take the train down to one of the neighboring cities that does have one. There's also one that's like a 5-hour walk away or something, and I'm thinking that might be really fun, like in the mountains. And I found a crazy nice mountain public bath before, so I'm thinking I'll just go hike up into the mountains one day and go do that also. I got some interesting ideas, but every time I've been to Japan so far, 3 or 4 times, I really can't remember, I have been walking across it. I've been camping, urban camping or wilderness camping across Japan in one form or another. I rented a place for 2 weeks once, I think. But I think those 2 weeks are the only time. It might have been 1 week. It was not a long time. Out of the months I've been to Japan multiple times for cherry blossom season, I have spent less than a month indoors. Mostly it's been outdoors. And this is the first time I'm actually renting a house, like a house that I will be living in for the month and a half that I'm there. Because I know once I get there, I'm going to be there longer. I'm like hesitating because I want us to go to Mongolia, and I'm like, just get a month and then go to Mongolia. But I know once I'm in Japan, and I certainly want to stay for the cherry blossom full bloom. And if I stayed a month, I'd be 2 weeks off. So I'm just staying 6 weeks instead and making sure I see the cherry blossoms. And I'm wondering how it'll be like to live in a house. It's also a good deal for Japan. Japanese housing can be very expensive. And I'm getting... Oh, also, you have to pay like accommodation fees if it's any sort of registered inn. But this is a private accommodation, so the host doesn't have to charge the accommodation fee, and it's in Nowheresville in a tiny town. So all these combined, it's expensive, more expensive than a lot of countries, but a pretty good deal for a very nice large house in Japan. It's like 650 USD per month, roughly. And that's a very good price for an entire house to yourself with everything included. Like a similar sized place could be twice as much, even in a tiny town like that, with accommodation fees, or there might be extra charge. Japan has so much bureaucracy. They have so many details that they do that you could have, there's extra charges. They don't try and stick them on you after you rent it, but all the descriptions will say like, by the way, you have to pay this and this and this. And by the way, it's also this. And it's just very large additions to whatever you're already paying a lot of the time. Tourist taxes, basically tourist taxes, which is fair, but if I can avoid them, I'd like to. And now, well, again, knock on wood, but the plan is that this host who's holding the house for me, I'll be able to rent that and yeah, have a great time. The thing is, if it falls through, this host, for whatever reason, there is another place that I want to live that does have a public bath near it. But this host has been so kind that I just have really good vibes from him. And I don't know, it just seems cool to live in a little seaside, cliffside town by myself in this house and just see 7,000 people. So this is going to be a small town. So I'll really be able to know the entire town by the time I leave. And go on a bunch of hikes and stuff also, I bet. Very excited about it. Knock on wood. Oh, I feel kind of bad about renting it because one of the people I just helped start traveling wants to go to Japan but hasn't saved enough money to fly over there yet. And we've been talking about it, and then I just got a ticket now, and I'm like, I am going because I just talked to them recently. But they're thinking about going to China first. And I'm just 100% yes. Go make an extra 20,000 in a few months. And then you can visit Japan all you want. You can live there if you want to. It's the salaries for English teachers. That's what this traveler's plan is, to go to China and make all his money and then retire in a few years, which is perfectly doable. And I know that because I did it. So I think they should do that also. I think they just want what they want now. But when I started traveling, I didn't want to go to China. I wanted to go to Japan first also, and South Korea and like other countries. And then I got to China. I was like, oh, I love it. So they just got to go. They just got to start, I think. I think that's more important than where they go first. They just got to get out there again. Indonesian Doritos. I tried Indonesian Doritos. They're gross. They're very sweet. It tastes like sweet cheese. And Doritos are actually really sugary. If you don't eat like a bunch of sugar, if you stop all sugar for a few days and then eat a Dorito, you'll be shocked at how sweet they were. I was. But these things are not even... You don't have to not eat sugar for a few days. The Indonesian Doritos are... They're not called Doritos. They're Indonesian nacho cheese corn chips. I don't know. I can't remember what they're called. And I'm not going to look it up because they're totally gross and you should not buy them. Don't get any nacho cheese chips. It was so gross. Unless you like sugar cheese, then you'll like these chips because they are sugar cheese. Jerky tests. Okay. I got sukiyaki. I got teriyaki. Hot pot slices, 500 grams of each. I tried them both. marinated it first, takes forever to dry. Just like it always took so many days to do this, like to dry jerky. And then finally, I was just like, wait, why don't I just dry it first? Because if I don't marinate it, I can get all the water out and then marinate it, and then all the flavor will get in really fast, and then I can dry it again. And it sounds like extra hassle, but I'm cutting like 3 days off of the drying time for beef jerky. So I realized that instead of waiting 4 or 5 days for jerky to dry, which it literally takes if you marinate it first, it takes a long time, I can dry the beef first. It'll dry within 24 hours, whether it's hand cut or hot pot sliced. And then I can put it in marinade for 1 to 2 hours, not even that long because there's not water already in the meat pushing out the marinade, and then put it back on the dryer for 1 hour and it's done. I can make a new batch of beef jerky every day now, instead of every 4 to 5 days. It has changed my jerky game, folks. Changed the jerky game. You might be wondering, what do you use for marinade? Were you not wondering that? Don't worry, I'll tell you anyway. Soy sauce, brown sugar. That's it. Find the balance. Is good. It's real good. So dry the meat first. If you're making jerky and you're like, the worst part of this is how long I have to wait for marinated meat to dry, that's because we've been doing it wrong. Dry the beef first, then marinate it for like half the time you normally marinate it because it'll get into the meat a lot quicker, then dry it again. And you can make jerky every day. I shouldn't be giving this away because I literally might start a jerky business because I think my jerky rocks. But it's too good not to share. Especially because nobody does it this way. I know other people that make their own jerky, and everybody marinates the meat first and then jerkies it, which is it's so much, it takes more energy, like drying energy, it takes more time. It takes so much more time. Literally like 5 times as much time. I can't believe how easy it is to make jerky if I just dry the beef first. Now you might be thinking, hey, dum-dum, why didn't you think of this before? All right, I gotta talk about the next thing. Having trouble with my credit card at Lottie Mart, I had to the 3rd time I went there or something, the woman insisted no, we don't take foreign cards. And I was like, you definitely do, because I've used it multiple times. She called up her manager, and I showed her the entries at that store that I used the card. I was like, I've already used it twice. And then I used it the 3rd. And it took 15 minutes. Finally, I convinced them, just put it in and try it. Put it in the card reader and hit yes. And they finally did that. But I was just standing there waiting them while they talked to each other for 10 minutes. And they put it in, clicked yes, worked first try. They were like, that's so weird. These don't work. And I was like, okay, I've already been here twice. Thank you very much. And that was nice of them because I did get my meat and my nori snacks. What am I complaining about? It was fine. I didn't have anything to do all day. What am I complaining about? It's fine. Sorry, I'm a little excited. I just made beef jerky today and I had some, so I'm a little pumped up. Someone told me I'm too optimistic because I told them that things change. At first I was like, well, people can travel. It's not very expensive. And she was like, you're so optimistic. And I was like, no, this is just math. This is a house right now in your country. It costs less than $100 US equivalent for a room. And then these are the groceries. This is my grocery bill. And then and I just showed her the math, and I was like, so in this country, in Indonesia, it'd be $300 a month to live pretty comfortably, and $500 to live extremely comfortably. Private house, groceries, and Wi-Fi, utilities also. And she was like, that's so optimistic of you. Again. And I was like, no, these are the actual, I don't think it's optimistic. It's just that's how much these things cost. And she said, well, things don't always just get better. And I was like, no, they definitely don't. A lot of things get worse. Some things get better. Things always do change, though. They are changing, whether it's for the better or worse. And she said, so optimistic. You're so optimistic. And I kept taking issue with it because things do change. That's not optimism. That's just Those are the cold hard facts. The ants keep marching on. Like things are changing. Things change all the time. That's not optimism. Things just change. A guy tried to hug me at a convenience store. I bought a bunch of stuff and he spoke Indonesian. And then I was like, sorry, my Indonesian is not great. And he said, I love you. And I was like, oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. And he was with two of his friends and they were all like younger and they were like joking with each other whenever he said something to me. Everyone's nervous and funny around a foreigner. And I guess these were teens or like young kids. Maybe he looked drunk and high. So maybe they were like 25, 30. I don't know. But he said a couple other things, like just bravely talking to the foreigner. And then he held out his hands like a hug. And I was like, sure. And I held out my hands. And then he turned away bashfully and crossed his arms. And they finally finished their purchase. I was like, I can talk to him for a minute. And then their purchase took like 5 minutes. And they left and it was fine. But they were very happy to talk to the foreigner, I guess. And that's good. That's good that they were happy. Wait, have I not talked about the tahu cabe garam here yet? I have a new favorite dish, and it's Indonesian tahu cabe garam. Salty, chili, fried tofu. Holy crap. It's the best thing I've eaten here, by far. So the tofu, it doesn't get hollow because it's cut in really small pieces. So like when you fry tofu, it'll get hollow in the center if it's like old or too big a piece. And this stuff is cut in small pieces, so it's tofu all the way through, but the outside is crispy fried, and it's thick. It's like caramelized, crunchy, but there's no sweetness. It's just salty chili. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering talking about it right now. I might go to an all-you-can-eat buffet today. If I do not, I will be getting tahu cabe garam because, oh my gosh, it's so good. And I only have a week left here, so I have to eat it while I can. Anyway, that's my new favorite restaurant here. I feel bad because Babana and Adele have been so cool, but the cabe garam at this new place is killer. At least the tahu cabe garam. Their other food was pretty good too, but tahu cabe garam is the standout dish. It's amazing. And this dude cooks slow. When he cooks, he's cooking each dish. He cooks each dish one at a time. Only he cooks. And everything he cooks correctly and deliciously. And it's amazing when it comes out every time. Oh my gosh, tahu cabe garam. Tahu cabe garam. Tahu cabe garam. I want some tahu cabe garam. I'm sure there were other stuff. I've been really bad writing down stuff lately because I don't know why. Maybe because I've been recording lately a lot or I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting lazy. I forgot to write down a whole bunch of stuff. So that's the end of this weekly roundup. I hope it was kind of interesting or fun to listen to. I'm glad I have it down so I can listen to my journal in the future. If you're there in the future, I'm sorry you're old. It's better not being old, isn't it? I'm sure it is. I think about it all the time. I've thought about it since I was in elementary school. I've always been, like, when I was a kid in elementary school, I appreciated it as a 6-year-old. I was like, this is good because being old does not look as fun as this, having this, like, young, sprightly body. And now I'm older by 30 years, and yeah, I can feel it. Bodies break down. But I'm so glad I retired when I was 30 so I could enjoy most of my waning years with a fun, good time. I hope you're doing great. If you want to retire at 30 and you can speak English, I know exactly how you can do it. Hit me up at bitofarambler@gmail.com or bitofarambler on Lemmy and Blue Sky, and we can chat. Have a good rest of your day. I am gonna go eat all-you-can-eat buffet. There's an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet, which I haven't been to, and I should go to. And there's also an all-you-can-eat hot pot buffet, which I've been to twice, and I'm going to go to a third time and get the expensive option so I can get the good meat. And if that doesn't happen today, I'm going to go get the tahu cabe garam. But I should probably go to one of the buffets today. Ooh, decisions.